demigods are the Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Vasudevas, Maruts, Ashwini Kumaras, and Ribus. The king of heaven, Indra, is known as Purandara, and the seven sages are known as Kashyapa, Atri, Vasista, Purandara, and the seven sages are known as Kashyapa, Atri, Vasista, Vishva Amrita, Gautama, Janmatagni, and Bharadvaja. During this period of Manu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, appears from the womb of Aditi in his incarnation as the son of Kashyapa. In the period of the eighth Manu, the Manu is Savarni. His sons are headed by Nirmukha, and among the demigods are the Sutapas. Bali, the son of Virochana, is Indra, and Galava and Parasurama are among the seven sages. In this age of Manu, incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as Sarvabhauma, the son of Deva Guya and Saraswati. In the period of the ninth one, the Manu is Taksha Savarni. His sons are headed by Bhutaketu, and among the demigods are the Marichi Garbhas. Adbhuta is Indra, and among the seven sages is Dutiman. In the period of Manu, the incarnation of Rishabha is born of Ayushman and Ambudara. In the period of the 10th Manu, the Manu is Brahma Savarni. Among his sons is Burisena, and the seven sages are Havishman and others. Among the demigods are the Suvasanas, and Sambhu is Indra. The incarnation in this period of Manu is Vishwaksena, who is a friend of Sambhu and who is born from the womb of Visuchi in the house of a Brahmana named Vishwasrasta. In the period of the 11th Manu, the Manu is Dharma Savarni, who has 10 sons headed by Satya Dharma. Among the demigods are the Vihangamas. Indra is known as Vaidrita, and the seven sages are Aruna and others. In this Manvantara, the incarnation is Damasetu, who was born of Vaidrita and Aryaka. In the period of the 12th Manu, the Manu is Rudra Savarni, whose sons are headed by Devavan. The demigods are the Haritas and others. Indra is Ritadama, and the seven stages are Tarpo, Murti, and others. The incarnation in this Manvantara is Sudama or Swadama, who was born from the womb of Sunrita. His father's name is Satya Saha. In the period of the 13th Manu, the Manu is Deva Savarni. Among his sons is Chitrasena. The demigods are the Sukarmas and others. Indra is Dvivaspati, and Nirmukha is among the sages. The Manvantara avatar is Yogeswara, who is born of Devahotra, and Brihati. In the period of the 14th Manu, the Manu is Indra Savarni. Among his sons are Uru and Gambhira. The demigods are the Pavitras and others. Indra is Suchi, and among the sages are Agni and Bahu. The incarnation of this Manvantara is known as Brihadbanu. He is born of Satrayana from the womb of Vitana. The total duration of the periods ruled by these Manus is calculated to be 1,000 Shatur Yugas, or 4,300,000 times 1,000 years. Wow, that's a long time. Text number 1. Sukadeva Goswami said, the present Manu, who is named Shraddha Deva, is the son of Vivaswan, the predominating deity on the sun planet. Shraddha Deva is the seventh Manu. Now please hear from me as I describe his sons. Text 2 and 3. O King Parikshit, among the 10 sons of Manu are Ikshwaku, Nabaga, Dhrishta, Saryati, Narishyanta, and Nabaga. The seventh son is known as Dista. Then come Tarusha and Prishadra, and the 10th son is known as Vasuman. Text number 4. In this Manvantara, O king, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Rudras, the Vishwadevas, the Maruts, the 2 Ashwini Kumara brothers, and the Ribus are the demigods. Their head king, Indra, is Purandara. Text number 5. Kashyapa, Atri, Vasista, Vishwanrita, Gautama, Janmadagni, and Bharadvaja are known as the seven sages. Text number 6. In this Manvantara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as the youngest of all the Adityas, known as Vamana, the dwarf. His father was Kashyapa and his mother Aditi. Text 7. I have briefly explained to you the position of the seven Manus. Now I shall describe the future Manus along with the incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Text number 8. O King, I have previously described in the sixth canto the two daughters of Vishwakarma, named Samgyana and Chaya, who were the first two wives of Vivaswan. Text number 9. It is said that the sun god had a third wife named Vadava. Of the three wives, the wife named Samgana, Samjana had three children, Yama, Yami, and Shraddhadeva. No, let's see. And Shraddhadeva, yeah. Now, let me describe the children of Chaya. Text 10. Chaya had a son named Tavarni and a daughter named Tapati, who later became the wife of King Samvarana. Shaya's third child is known as Sanaischara or Saturn. Vadava gave birth to two sons, namely the Aswini brothers. Text 11. O king, when the period of the eighth Manu arrives, Savarni will become the Manu. Nirmoka and Virajaska will be among his sons. Purport. The present reign is that of Vivaswata Manu. According to astronomical calculations, we are now in the 28th yuga of Vivaswata Manu. Each Manu lives for 71 yugas, and 14 such Manus rule in one day of Lord Brahma. We are now in the period of the Vivaswata Manu, the seventh Manu, and the eighth Manu will come into existence after many millions of years. But Sukadeva Goswami, having heard from the authorities, foretells that the eighth Manu will be Savarni and that Nirmoka and Virajaska will be among his sons. Shastra can foretell what will happen millions and millions of years in the future. Text number 12. In the period of the eighth Manu, among the demigods will be the Sutapas and Virajas, and the
Amrita.
Amrita Prabhas. The king of the demigods, Indra, will be Bali Maharaj, the son of Virochana. Text 13. Bali Maharaj gave a gift of 3 paces of land to Lord Vishnu, and because of this charity he lost all the 3 worlds. Later, however, when Lord Vishnu is pleased because of Bali's giving everything to him, Bali Maharaj will achieve the perfection of life.
So this is, according to this is a futuristic story now.
It's what?
It's not happened yet.
Okay.
Right? I mean, because in the previous chapter, Prabhupada says that we are in the seventh. Let's see, we are in the Vaivashvatamana, the 28th Yuga of Vaivashvatamana. So this is so 8th Manu is the futuristic Manu, and then in the period of 8th Manu is where this story is going to happen now. So this is all futuristic.
Okay. In Bhagavad Gita 7.3, it is stated, Manushyanam sahasresu kashit yatati siddharye. Out of many millions of people, one may attempt to achieve success in life. This success is explained here. Radam Indrapadam Hitvatata Siddhim Avyapsyati. Siddhi consists of achieving the favor of Lord Vishnu, not the yoga siddhis. The yoga siddhis, Anima, Lagima, Mahima, Prapti, Prakamya, Isitva, Vasitva, and Kama Vasayita, are temporary. The ultimate siddhi is to achieve the favor of Lord Vishnu. Okay. Text 14. With great affection, the personality of Godhead bound Bali and then installed him in the kingdom of Sutala, which is more opulent than the heavenly planets. Maharaja Bali now resides on that planet and is more comfortably situated than Indra. Okay. Text 15 and 16. Okay. During the 8th month on Tara, the great personalities, Galava, Diptiman, Parashurama, Aswatthama, Kripacharya, Rishyasringa, and our father Vyasadeva, the incarnation of Narayana, will be the 7 sages. For the present, they are all residing in their respective ashrams. Text 17. In the 8th Manvantara, the greatly powerful personality of Godhead, Sarvabhauma, will take birth. His father will be Deva Guya, and his mother will be Saraswati. He will take the kingdom away from Purandara, Lord Indra, and give it to Bali Maharaj. Text 18. O king, the 9th Manu will be Daksha Savarni, who was born of Varuna. Among his sons will be Bhuta Ketu and Ketu. Text 19. In the ninth Manvantara, the Paras and the Garbhas will be among the demigods. The king of heaven, Indra, will be named Adbhuta, and Timan will be among the seven sages. Text 20. Rishabhadeva, a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will head, Supreme Personality of Godhead will take birth from his father, Ayushman, and his mother, Ambudhara. He will enable the Indra named Adbhuta to enjoy the opulence of the three worlds. Text 21. The son of Upasloka, known as Brahma Savarni, will be the 10th Manu. Purisena will be among his sons, and the Brahmanas headed by Avishman will be the seven sages. Text 22. Avishman, Sukirta, Satya, Jaya, Murti, and others will be the seven sages. The Suvasanas and Virutas will be among the demigods, and Sambhu will be their king, Indra. Text 23. In the home of Vishvasrasta, a plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear from the womb of Visuchi as the incarnation known as Vishwaksena. He will make friends with Sambhu. Text 24. In the 11th Manvantara, the Manu will be Dharma Savarni, who will be extremely learned in spiritual knowledge. From him there will come 10 sons, headed by Satya Dharma. Text 25. The Vihangamas, Kamagamas, Nirvan Ruchis, and others will be the demigods. The king of the demigods, Indra, will be Vaidrita, and the seven sages will be headed by Aruna. Text 26. The son of Aryaka, known as Dharma Setu, a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will appear from the womb of Vaidrita, the wife of Aryaka, and will rule the three worlds. O king, the 12th Manu will be named Rudra Savarni. Devavan, Upadeva, and Deva Shrestha will be among his sons. Text 28. In this Manvantara, the name of Indra will be Ritadama, and the demigods will be headed by the Haritas. Among the sages will be Tapamurti, Tapasvi, and Agni Dharaka. Text 29. From the mother named Sunrita, and the father named Satya Saha will come Swadama, a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He will rule that Manvantara. Text 30. The 13th Manu will be named Deva Savarni, and he will be very advanced in spiritual knowledge. Among his sons will be Chitrasena and Vichitra. Text 31. In the 13th Manvantara, the Sukarmas and Sutramanas will be among the demigods. Divaspati will be the king of heaven, and Nirmoka and Tattvadarsha will be among the 7 sages. Text 32. The son of Devahutra, known as Yogeshwara, will appear as a partial incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His mother's name will be Brihati. He will perform activities for the welfare of Daivaspati. Text 33. The name of the 14th Manu will be Indra Savarni. He will have sons like Uru, Gambhira, and Buddha. Text 34. The Pavitras and Chaksusas will be among the demigods, and Suchi will be Indra, the king of heaven. Agni, Vahu, Suchi, Sudha, Magadha, and others of great austerity will be the 7 sages. Text 35. O King Parikshit, in the 14th Manvantara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear from the womb of Vitana, and his father's name will be Satrayana. This incarnation will be celebrated as Brihad Banu, and he will administer spiritual activities. Text 36. O King, I have now described to you the 14 Manus appearing in the past, present, and future. The total duration of time ruled by these Manus is 1,000 yuga cycles. This is called a kalpa, or 1 day of Lord Brahma. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the 8th canto, 13th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Description of Future Manus. Okay. Chapter 14, the System of Universal Management. This chapter describes the duties allotted to Manu by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the Manus, as well as their sons, the sages, the demigods, and the Indras, act under the orders of various incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the end of every Chatur Yuga, consisting of Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga, the sages acting under the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead describe the Vedic knowledge and thus reinstate eternal religious principles. Manu's duty is to reestablish the system of religion. Manu's sons execute Manu's order, and thus the entire universe is maintained by Manu and his descendants. The Indras are various rulers of the heavenly planets. Assisted by the demigods, they rule the 3 worlds. The Supreme Personality of Godhead also appears as incarnations in different yugas. He appears as Sanaka, Sanatana, Yajnavalkya, Dattatreya, and others, and thus he gives instruction in spiritual knowledge, prescribed duties, principles of mystic yoga, and also on, and so on. As Maharaj and others, he creates progeny. As the king, he punishes the miscreants, and in the form of time, he annihilates the creation. One may argue if all the powerful supreme personalities of Godhead can do anything simply by his will, why has he arranged for so many personalities to manage? How and why he does this cannot be understood by those who are under the clutches of Maya. Okay. Text number 1. Maharaj Pariksit inquired, O most opulent Sukha Deva Goswami, please explain to me how Manu and the others in each Manvantara are engaged in their respective duties and by whose order they are so engaged. Text 2. Sukadeva Goswami said, the Manus, the sons of Manu, the great sages, the Indras, and all the demigods, O king, are appointed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various incarnations, such as Yajna. Text number 3. O king, I have already described to you various incarnations of the Lord, such as Yajna. The Manus and others are chosen by these incarnations, under whose direction they conduct the universal affairs. Purport. The Manus execute the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various incarnations. Text number 4. At the end of every 4 yugas, the great saintly persons, upon seeing that the eternal occupational duties of mankind have been misused, reestablish the principles of religion. Okay, well, that's good. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In this verse, the words Dharma and Sanatana are very important. Sanatana means eternal, and Dharma means occupational duties. From Satya Yuga to Kali Yuga, the principles of religion and occupational duty gradually deteriorate. In Satya Yuga, the religious principles are observed in full, without deviation. In Treta Yuga, however, these principles are somewhat neglected, and only three-fourths of the religious duties continue. In Dwapara Yuga, only half of the religious principles continue, and in Kali Yuga, only 1/4 of the religious principles, which gradually disappear. At the end of Kali Yuga, the principles of religion, or the occupational duties of humanity are almost lost. Indeed, in this Kali Yuga, we have passed through only 5,000 years. Yet the decline of Sanatana Dharma is very prominent. The duty of saintly persons, therefore, is to take up seriously the cause of Sanatana Dharma and try to reestablish it for the benefit of the entire human society. The Krishna consciousness movement has been started according to the principle, according to this principle. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 12.3.51, Kalir dosa nide rajan astihi eko mahan guna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajet. The entire Kali Yuga is full of faults. It is like an unlimited ocean of faults, but the Krishna consciousness movement is very authorized. Therefore, following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who 500 years ago inaugurated the movement of Sankirtana, Krishna Kirtana, we are trying to introduce this movement according to superior orders all over the world. Now, if the inaugurators of this movement strictly follow the regulative principles and spread this movement for the benefit of all human society, they will certainly usher in a new way of life by reestablishing Sanatana Dharma, the eternal occupational duties of humanity. The eternal or occupational duty of the human being is to serve Krishna. Every Jivera, is to serve Krishna. Jivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nityadasa. This is the purport of Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana means Nitya or eternal, and Krishna Dasa means servant of Krishna. The eternal occupational duty of the human being is to serve Krishna. This is the sum and substance of the Krishna consciousness movement. Yeah, the purpose is to serve Krishna. And also this mantra, 12.3.51, Kalir dosa nide rajan astihi eko mahanguna kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. The entire Kali Yuga is full of faults. It is like an unlimited ocean of faults. But the Krishna consciousness movement is very authorized. Therefore, following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who 500 years ago inaugurated the movement of Sankirtana, Krishna Kirtana, we are trying to introduce this movement according to superior orders all over the world. Now, if the inaugurators of this movement strictly follow the regulative principles and spread this movement for the benefit of all human society, they will certainly usher in a new way of life by reestablishing Sanatana Dharma, the eternal occupational duties of humanity. The eternal occupational duty of the human being is to serve Krishna. Jivera Swarupahaya Nityera Krishnada. This is the purport of Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan means Nitya or eternal, and Krishna Das means servant of Krishna. The eternal occupational duty of the human being is to serve Krishna. This is the sum and substance of the Krishna consciousness movement. There it is. Harivilas. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Text 5. Tato dharmam chatuspadam manavo harin odita yukta sanchar ayanti adha sve kale mahim nipa. Thereafter, O king, the Manus, being fully engaged according to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, directly reestablished the principle of occupational duty in its full four parts. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Dharma, or occupational duty, can be established full in its full form, full four in its full four parts, as explained in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita 4.1, the Lord says, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavam aham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manar itvakave bravit. I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god, Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. This is the process of the cyclic succession. Following the same process, the Krishna consciousness movement is teaching the principles of Bhagavad Gita as it is, without deviation, all over the world. If the fortunate people of this time accept the instructions of Lord Krishna, they will certainly be happy in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted everyone, at least in India, to become a preacher of this mission. In other words, one should become a guru and preach the Lord's instructions all over the world for the peace and prosperity of humanity. Wow, what a nice purport. Text number 6. To enjoy the results of sacrifices or yajnas, the rulers of the world, named the sons and grandsons of Manu, discharged the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead until the end of Manu's reign. The demigods also share the results of these sacrifices. Purport. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajasayo Vidu. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. This parampara system extends from Manu to Ikshvaku, and from Ikshvaku to his sons and grandsons. The rulers of the world in the line of hierarchy execute the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Parampara system. Anyone interested in peaceful life must participate in this Parampara system and perform yajnas. As Gaudiya Vaishnavas in the Parampara system of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we must perform Sankirtana Yajna all over the world. Yajnai Sankirtana Parayar Yajanti Hi Sumida Saha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this age of Kali, and he will be easily satisfied if the Sankirtana movement is spread vigorously all over the world. This will also make people happy without a doubt. Text number 7. Indra, king of heaven, receiving benedictions from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus enjoying highly developed opulences, maintains the living entities all over the three worlds by pouring sufficient rain on all the planets. Text number 8. In every yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, assumes the form of siddhas, such as Sanaka, to preach transcendental knowledge. He assumes the form of great saintly persons, such as Yajnavalkya, to teach the way of karma. And he assumes the form of great yogis, such as Dattatreya, to teach the system of mystic yoga. Purports by Srila Prabhupada. For the benefit of all human society, not only does the Lord assume the form of Manu as an inclination to rule the universe properly, but he also assumes the forms of a teacher, yogi, jnani, and so on, for the benefit of human society. The duty of human society, therefore, is to accept the path of action enunciated by the Supreme Lord. In the present age, the sum and substance of all Vedic knowledge is to be found in Bhagavad Gita, which is personally taught by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the same Supreme Godhead, assuming the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, expands the teachings of Bhagavad Gita all over the world. In other words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, is so kind and merciful to human society that he is always anxious to take the fallen souls back home, back to Godhead. Okay, that is certainly a benediction. Text 9. In the form of Prajapati Marichi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead creates progeny, becoming the king. He kills the thieves and rogues, and in the form of time, he annihilates everything, all the different qualities of material existence should be understood to be qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 10. People in general are bewildered by the illusory energy, and therefore they try to find the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, through various types of research and philosophical speculation. Nonetheless, they are unable to see the Supreme Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Whatever actions and reactions take place for the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material world are actually brought about by the one Supreme Person. There are many varieties of philosophers trying to search for the ultimate cause under different names, names and forms, but they are unable to find the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who explains in the Bhagavad Gita that he is the origin of everything and the cause of all causes. Aham sarvasya prabhava. Aham sarvasya prabhava. This inability is due to the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Devotees, therefore, accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is and remain happy simply by chanting the glories of the Lord. Well, why should they be, it says here, there are many varieties of philosophers trying to search for the ultimate cause under different names and forms, but they are unable to find the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who explains in Bhagavad Gita that he is the origin of everything and the cause of all causes. Aham sarvasya prabhava. This inability is due to the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Devotees, therefore, accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is and remain happy simply by chanting the glories of the Lord. Well, if I haven't misread what we just read, it's a rare thing to be a devotee. So we're very fortunate if we become genuine devotees. Very fortunate. Text 11. In one kalpa, or one day of Brahma, there take place the many changes called vikalpas. O king, all of these have been previously described to you by me. Learned scholars who know the past, present, and future have ascertained that in one day of Brahma there are 14 manas. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the 8th chapter, 14th chapter, 8th canto, 14th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The System of Universal Management. Harivilas. Okay, I think we are
Time.
at the end. All right, we'll stop right there. Are there any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? Okay, well, I think we will adjourn this seance of learning and pick it up again uh, tomorrow. The takeaway from today, let's read this. People in general are bewildered by the illusory energy, and therefore they try to find the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, through various types of research and philosophical speculation. Nonetheless, they are unable to see the Supreme Lord. And the purport it says, whatever actions and reactions take place for the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material world are actually brought about by the one Supreme Person. There are many varieties of philosophers trying to search for the ultimate cause under different names and forms, but they are unable to find the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who explains in Bhagavad Gita that he is the origin of everything and the cause of all causes. Aham sarvasya prabhava. This inability is due to the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Devotees, therefore, accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is and remain happy simply by chanting the glories of the Lord. Well, that is our takeaway for today. One can remain happy simply by chanting the glories of the Lord. That should be our purpose. Okay. Any questions or comments? So the devotees therefore accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is and remain happy simply by chanting the glories of the Lord. That is our takeaway for today. This chanting the glories of the Lord is the real, what you would call, purpose and the real way to make spiritual advancement. That is, accept the personality of Godhead as he is and remain happy simply by chanting the glories of the Lord. There it is. That's the uh, statement, ultimate statement of how one can uh, be uh, engaged throughout this Kali Yuga without being disturbed, even though there's so many disturbing things. One just continues to follow Krishna consciousness and not be disturbed because one is overwhelmed by chanting the glories of the Lord. And therefore it says the inability is due to the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Devotees, therefore, accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is and remain happy simply by chanting the glories of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We will continue simply by chanting the glories of the Lord and not be disturbed or, let's say, fooled to take other ways of being engaged uh, in life. Our only determination and our only path is to remain happy simply by chanting the glories of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. We will continue today and every day by chanting the glories of the Lord. Haribol. So when you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you're chanting the glories of the Lord. So that's our real purpose in life. We'll always chant the glories of the Lord. Okay, we'll stop right there. Any questions or comments? Okay, well, my dear devotees, I pray that all of us continue on without any hiatus or any stoppage to simply chant the glories of the Lord
Right.
in this lifetime.
Correct.
Haribol. Pretty simple, not complicated. Simply chant the glories of the Lord.